does look like game number 1 is beginning here right now.
And here we go. In the color blue, we see Malian Sanity, Zerton, playing as a ruse. We're here on King of the Hill. On the opposite side, we have LoueMT playing as a ruse as well. So an old-fashioned mirror matchup happening here between this player. Louis being the first one now to click on that wheelbarrow. And look at that. Villagers moving forward. Looks to be that Kremlin kind of play in the middle here, going for that sacred side.
Yeah, right when I saw the barracks, that kind of just makes sense for the Kremlin. You want just maybe a little bit of support just in case there's any shenanigans from the other side. In the meantime, it's not a Golden Gate play on the other side. It's just a protective Kremlin at home as well for Louis.
Yeah, but look at that Louis. He's also... Never mind, I was looking at the wrong player. Zerton was the one making Spearman. For a second, I thought Louis was the one with the Spearman, but no. It's going to be Spearman from Zerton, so he's definitely going to be able to protect his own Kremlin from going up.
Oh, he's moving out on the stone, and this makes me worried a little bit. Oh, wow. Louis is moving forward with villagers. He spots it out. Okay, he decides to pull him back.
Spearman. That is so good. The Spearman there. Just making sure that that Kremlin is going to go up. Louis sniping that wolf there. Looking good for him.
Yeah, but as I was about to mention, going out on the stone, the Kremlin in the middle, I feel like it's a bait at times. Like, by the time you're getting the sacred site, it's castle age, it's a lot of stuff has already happened, and you might be vulnerable. You might have stuff that's already happened at home in your base. You know, that's one of those that it's... If Louis just decides to pressure the other side, pressure where maybe the second TC drop is, that could be enough damage to then have the middle taken easy.
Yeah, exactly. Kremlin's gonna go up. Not a lot of time between these two. It's like Louis, he's gonna go for a second TC. Zerton similarly, looking for that 2 TC kind of play here. There are some good spots for both of these players to place their TCs. There's the spot with the boar right next to the deer, right next to the berries. That's a prime location for a TC right there.
I think Louis even knows that too. Has his scout just sitting there waiting, watching to see if Zerton moves out to that location. But instead, it's in the middle. It's a little bit closer to that Kremlin, so it wasn't as vulnerable and worrisome as it could be. But Louis, he is making a huge move with a ton of these villagers. And what is his game plan about to be right now? I'm so confused. Just going to the deer. Okay, that's what it is.
Okay, Spearmen from Zerton are going to be following. Louis getting some archers out. And this many villagers should be able to take the fight against the Spearman there. Spearman upgrade comes in, the harden upgrade. Maybe now the Spearman could do a little bit more damage here. Should at least be able to pick up one villager.
Oh, great micro. Look at the other villagers stepping up. The archer support kills the one spearman before it can close the gap. And, I mean, that is just some high level micro play.
Yeah, exactly. That was really well played. Knight also in queue for Louis. Stable coming up for Zerton as well. So he's going to be getting that one up as well in a little bit.
Yeah, Louis does have a scout on the back stone, so knows that Zerton went for that secondary TC play. Knows that there's not a third one in queue because he can click on the stone mine. Knows exactly how much has been gathered, and so this is where information kind of proves to be very nice, and no real denial on that vision either yet. And next steps is kind of where the game can start to progress into potential castle ages for both of these players.
Yeah, on a map like this, King of the Hill, there are some really nice spots for your for your high trade house to come in. Usually in the corner. Can we check the corners? Because many times we see resources spawn in the corners, which can block the high trade house. I think it still fits in there. Can we check for Louis how it's looking there? That should also still fit in the corner. Yeah. All right, yeah, it's not like a GG corner for any of these players.
I love how you acted like there was like going to be like different spots. It's like, yeah, the high interesting spot. It's of course in the corner. It's the best spot out there for the high trade house. It just gives you so much gold immediately. It's absolutely wild when it comes to these heavily woodlined maps. Same thing could be said for the pit or for hideout or some of those other similar ones.
Wooden fortress has been built up in the middle here. Even put some archers inside, just to have that wooden fortress be able to fire out immediately. What this does, it means that depending on if he gets the upgrade on it, he might be able to deny sacred site capture early on. For certain, if he gets a warrior monk out there.
Yep,
Some
we're
Knight
seeing
on Knight
the,
action. The
first
halfling.
little night clash, but no deaths going down yet. There's a spear there from Zerton from early on, and we're starting to see some Tetris with these walls.
Louis making sure he's not getting walled out here on this side. There's a boar there. Potentially Zerton could pull that one, but no, actually the scouts are running away now.
And it does look like Louis will successfully deny the wall out on that northern side. Looks like Zerton, that's what his kind of game plan is. He's trying to wall Louis in on multiple different paths, so it just kind of contains the Roost player, and we'll slowly be able to deny resources over the course of time and know exactly kind of what's happening out on the map.
And Louis also making use of those knights, and he just managed to sneak through it. Well, look at Louis, like the wall that he used to deny the wall up there from Zerton. It doesn't stop. He's going all the way.
I'm so confused. I mean, I guess it makes sense because look at what they're both just continuing to extend this wall. They're just having some fun. They're drawing some pictures over here for the crowd. Archers though sniping out the villager. Wall will not be finished, I don't think.
One of the segments isn't finished. Villager will go down. With that, wall up should be coming in. And now high trade house. Louis being the first one here to click up right in the corner.
Yep, Zerton not too far delayed after that. I think he can just force drop off some food, drop his own in the corner as well. But seems like there's some knights that are about to start roaming throughout Zerton's side, and he never really fully secured his walls. So he's out on the deer, he's out on some gold, and the knights can just head right towards those locations potentially.
The knights just broke through there. They can now rush to that deer side, and there's actually a scout from Louis there scouting that Zerton is indeed on those deer there. Zerton has his own army here, but Louis' mass is just superior right now. That's a big armor value.
Yeah. Boar right there as well. Zerton has the extra reinforcing knights on their way, so no real damage done. No boar pickups yet. I wouldn't be surprised to see Zerton just go kill that boar real quick. Give himself, yep, there it is. Give himself that extra free bounty and give himself a secondary food resource he can move to if he wants to with those villagers on deer.
There we go. Louis, Castle Age coming in. More knights in the queue. Veterancy coming in as well. Gets the armor upgrade for the range, Pierce as well. With that, I mean, it's still going to be really tough to dive a Kremlin.
Yeah, looks like he's making the transition onto stone, so most likely we will be seeing some keeps here in the near future to try to control the center.
Crossbow's also coming out from both players, so it's going to be a knight and crossbow style composition. No warrior monk in queue for either of these players yet. Actually, there we go, Zerton. First one to queue.
The question is does he just go for the middle sacred site right off the bat, try to get that starting to tick as fast as possible, or does he just go for some of these relics? Oh, Louis though, he has the vision, he has the military behind the walls, so denies some of that extra food expansion that Zerton was attempting to make.
It's definitely gonna hurt him, and man, he was really patient with that one. He had that knight there the entire time. Definitely waiting for that one. Zerton takes a good fight there. Till mass from Louis. It's climbing a little bit faster here.
Yeah, just barely. He's getting some extra upgrades into the bank as well. And I feel like this is just where the raids and the ability to be on your opponent's end rather than your own is what helps a little bit. We're seeing the high trade house gold, 278 and 223. Okay, I'm wondering Louis might be behind on that 250 bounty, but no matter what, we'll end up seeing them get there with the high trade houses, so no big deal there. And the crossbows are pushing forward from Zerton now, Louis producing some as well.
Oh, Knight finding some villagers there. Knight is low HP though, but he has armor.
That's such a bait. That's such a bait to make with the villagers with their shivs. We're gonna look back. There's gonna be like no vills left.
Yeah, that hurts a lot. 8 villagers so far have been killed here by Louis. 2 villagers survive to tell the tale. And Zerton actually loses the Knight battle here, even though he had like a couple of crossbows in there. Louis only had a single one.
Yeah, I mean, that was just where the Knight numbers, I guess the health on him was maybe potentially a little bit lower for Zerton, and Louis cleaned that up, and now he's doubling the Knight and dropping a keep in the center right as he wins a fight. There's no way Zerton can do anything.
Yeah, Zerton hasn't captured the sacred side yet. And now he's not going to be able to. Another fight happening here. Crossbows trying their best.
Knight's assigned to take some fights onto the crossbows. There's a archer and a crossbow behind this for Louis, so a little bit of everything. Still has those archers from earlier, but thinning out the Knight horde is so key, especially like I was mentioning. It's right as he pushes forward for control of the center, which now he gains fully.
Louis looking firmly in control here right now. This one wall just not going up here means that Louis is just doing his best in order to make sure that Zerton isn't going to get it up.
And now the keep is finished. A massive gold vein easily secured for himself. And then next becomes the Kremlin. Next becomes the sacred site and the actual center control now that Louis has kind of secured it. And he just doesn't care now that the Kremlin is just a little pebble shooter at this point. He's just burning it down.
Yeah, I mean, Zerton can't really fight this because there's the keep there. And look at that. Louis just stealing the relic there, right next to the Kremlin. Kremlin is firing upon the warrior monk.
That's not a fight you want to take. Well, what? Zerton just stepped way too far forward with the Knights, threw 4 Knights away for absolutely nothing, I feel like there. Louis, though, stepped a little bit further forward, able to secure the relic, though, so gives himself a little bit of a leg up in the long term. I thought that was a Knight for a second. It is a warrior monk, but still scary nonetheless. So Zerton overreacts and pulls them all back.
I think a warrior... Okay, never mind. Now he notices. Wait, this is just a warrior monk. And not just any warrior monk. It's like quarter HP. Takes the shift. Puts it down.
Oh, Trebuchet already out for Louis. It's not just one. He's got a second one in queue, and he has this middle control. The Kremlin's going to be easy, and more importantly, think of the TC position right after that. TC goes down, Louis takes control of center and takes control of TC, so has long-term economy. So it puts a timer on Zerton, and Zerton also needs to invest into eco to equalize, which he can't do because he needs to deal with Sacred Site.
This is really tough right now. No siege yet from Zerton. And that is that Louis got those trebuchets, and now also immediately going for the Springle, so he will have his answer to any siege from Zerton's side as well. Sacred Site hasn't been captured yet, but it's about to get captured. Warrior Monk's sitting on there.
Not only that, the Kremlin's getting a good old, I think it was Springled investment into it, but right as the Springled investment finishes, it's just a little too late as the Trebuchets just start to put it on fire. Villagers actually come to start rebuilding it. Zerton needs this. He wants this up and wants to finish it, but the Sacred Site's been captured. Louis has done his main job, and he's trying to build a keep now. Zerton is...
There's 2 traps already.
He can immediately deny that keep. When its structure's being built, it takes extra damage.
I mean, certainly he does have the superior army, but you can push into that keep with unarmored units like that. He needs something like mass horsemen, but even then, it feels really rough for him right now. And there we go, villagers moving forward. Keep gets dropped. Is it going to be enough?
Down. Now the keep's starting to be built, and yeah, the keep's starting to be built. It's getting built rather quickly. Louis spots it out. He's starting to move forward with his siege a little bit, and even if the keep goes up, it's going to be at like half health or less by the time it finishes, I feel like.
As the Roos, you can't really put down any like forward stone walls in order to like get a spot for trebuchets where they won't get hit by Springles potentially. It's going to be really rough trading the army here, but there is still a keep firing. on the crossbowman with Springald in placement as well.
Look at how many Springalds Louis already invested into. He knows this war. He knows what he needs to do. It's about the siege. It's not about the infantry right now. You can't take these fights under the keeps with just crossbows. You're just going to end up dying. The siege is the king, and so he immediately has 4 Springalds pop out. Insufficient stone already as the keeps being sieged down. Not a good look early on for Zerton.
Zerton is now also missing a lot of the Springalds, but it's so difficult to dive forward enough to like take shots at the trebuchets. Before that, you'll have to take down the Springalds of your opponent. Oh, almost loses it.
One of those Springalds started the animation for Louis, just wasn't able to finish it off. Villagers, though, they're pulled not to rebuild the keep. They're pulled to heal up that Springald. And the keep, it's already on fire. And a Mangonel is coming to support for Louis as well against what? All infantry on the other side. Again, he just needs to make sure he has the siege superiority, which 4 more Springalds will definitely help with that. And another keep.
Springalds firing on Springalds here.
Horseman
now
moving forward, just trying to get on top of the Springald in good Springald trades. Mangonel gets some fires on. Zerton cannot focus on the Mangonel because he needs to win the Springald war. But this is just such a predicament here. More Springald stepping up, taking a good trade. And Louis does look like he is holding this small push, again, delaying this. There's not enough units out for Zerton. A second keeps going down. All of the siege is going to go down for Zerton here, too.
Louis, he has 6 Springalds in queue after this one, while Zerton just lost all of his. Zerton also has 4 in queue, but this just looks so much in favor for Louis right now. And Louis, he's even got boiling oil on his keeps.
Yep, the Springald's moving back up to trade again, immediately just trading, and every time there's a trade 1-for-1, it benefits Louis. He has the Sacred Site control. He's got double keeps. He's got that defender's advantage that Zerton is on the timer.
Oh no, now Zerton's also investing into trebuchets, but it feels too late. The siege play from Zerton, it just feels too late here. He's already had to invest like 1,000 stone into repairing his own keep. Meanwhile, Louis, he's just got a second keep up. Palm transition coming in from both players, but Louis got more farms out right now, and the income just looks so much better for him.
Yeah, it might be 6 minutes till Sacred Site victory, but that keep going down feels like it's a victory already. It takes so much time to end up sieging down a keep, so much investment, and Louis has that siege war won already. He's got double keeps dropped. He's got 7 Springalds, about to be 9, and the Horseman transition makes it so hard for Zerton to actually like step up with any units, because if they do, they're into keep range and they start taking extra siege.
Imagine if Zerton built the Kremlin on the other side of the Sacred Site.
Whole different game.
Entirely different game. Yeah,
but now those 4 trebuchets move up for Zerton, first to arrive, but
there's 10 Springals.
It's just you can't do anything against this. Look at that Springald line move forward. Once Zerton sees this, I feel like that's just demoralizing for him. He's like, I just invested so many resources into this. He's gonna lose all his Springals. Every single one. You can't turn, you can't take this fight, but you have to because the Horsemen can force the fight.
And with that, this is GG at this point in time. Louis is going to be able to take this first game here in the set against Zerton. 4.5 minutes on the Sacred Site remaining, but
Mangonel arrives,
there's
and
no
again,
way to contest.
If you're Louis now, you just mass siege. More and more Mangonels. You can't, like, Zerton cannot step up to kill that. Mangonel's just immediately going to turn. Get some shots on in. Springalds trade again. 2 Springalds immediately get just blown to smithereens over here.
And the line of sight, there's no line of sight right now for Zerton because it's uphill. He doesn't see anything there.
As I mentioned, that TC was going to fall after the keep did. It just took a little bit longer than I was expecting. Keep on fire. There it goes. Disappears into a pile of rubble, and Zerton still falling back further and further. Louis making a full farm transition behind this, and it doesn't matter. He can do that. Look at the mill. Look at what he has behind this.
Yeah, the 10 Springles. It's just going to be so tough to contest. Zerton now moving into Horseman, but he doesn't have the food economy to support that. And he's just not going to get enough out. Even if he gets enough out, he's not going to be able to push under the triple keep now from Louis that's out there with boiling oil.
I mean, this is just, there's nothing that Zerton can do at this point. With 3 minutes and 27 seconds left, I just don't see a possibility for him, as normally your comeback potential is mangonels or night raids, but there's no raids with walls, and there's no mangonels with the siege that Louis has out. So it's just kind of one of those that you try to do what you can to try to stop the bleeding here, maybe just get a good note going into this next game. But this first one, very, very clean by Louis here.
Now we're going to be seeing mass rams, but against 10 Springles, the rams aren't going to work, and we see high armory coming out at the same time from Louis. He's going to be able to upgrade his Springles, and Zerton, he's far away from age up. Tries to get another outpost up here in the front side, but I feel like that's not even going to go up. Louis has vision on that. He just uses 2 trebuchets there, and look at that. Keep number 4 coming up as well.
I mean, I think Louis could just delete his army almost. If it was old boiling oil, Louis could delete his army and just win the game. With the new boiling oil, maybe not. But the trebuchets, the siege, it's just, Zerton's just going to walk up this hill and just, his army's going to get obliterated. The triple mangonels are about to set up. You can see it here now.
And Zerton, he has 6 Springles. Now 6 Springles, that's a good number, and he is pop capped. But what good is 6 Springles if your opponent has 10? And are about to have 12.5 range compared to your 10.
Yep. Outnumbered, outclassed here with this first game. Louis pushing forward, taking the fight, doesn't even want Zerton to touch the hill. He says, this hill, I am the king of it. This is mine. Good luck. And the mangonels firing that keeps attempting to drop. Crossbow support behind this. Trebuchets are right there to kill it down before it can even go up. Louis, he's actually not taking the fight. The Springles, they're turning back around. They're not taking siege trades, and I don't think it really matters.
Roll shot triggers just about to come in. That's what he waited for. Now he has the range advantage.
Fighting under his keeps as well.
Rams coming out. Is Zerton doing it? It's a lot of Rams. One of the Rams actually standing on the sacred side. It's gonna stop the timer. Oh, but the mass villager. Oh my god, so many villagers.
That was so many villagers, and he still has the line in the sand, still has the support from the other keeps. But the Rams, they take down the first one. There's 3 more. They take down a mining camp instead. Horsemen, though, and the Springles behind this. That's what's going to be the key. These Springles help so much when it comes to those Rams.
Yeah, the Springles are just taking down all of the Rams here. 1 minute remaining. Trebuchets firing on the keeps. They're not able to take them down nearly quickly enough. They're just getting repaired now.
3 more trebs in queue, though. Zerton has 4 trebs out. I feel like this should do enough, but look at how many villagers Louis pulled to heal this up. I mean, with that many, it doesn't matter, and now the horsemen dive forward. The horsemen push back the siege, and the trebs have to turn back around. Zerton just made so many. All the spring will just get taken out. The trebs are still not falling back far enough. The horsemen, they close the game. We thought it was game over before, but that one solidifies it. Keep doesn't go up, and all the keeps are standing for Louis except the one.
After this, it's game over. And Louis is going to win the first game here in the best of 5 against Zerton.
He's got the Streltsy. He's got the age advantage. Even if Zerton denies the sacred site, he's still behind an age. He's still behind military. He's still behind eco. And their game number 1 goes over to Louis.
What a game. I mean, this was an interesting King of the Hill game, right? Talked about earlier, like, if the Kremlin was on the other side of that sacred site, it would have been just a completely different one here. I feel like Louis would just not have been able to get into that position at all, and maybe Zerton would have been the one to get into that one. Yeah, that's gonna be the game number 1 here. Was a mirror, Ruse mirror, but there's more mirrors to be had because our next one is gonna be a Malian mirror on regions.
Ooh. Okay, and starting quick here, right around the corner, getting right on into it. And I feel like it's Empire Wars mirrors get played so much differently. You don't have this like slow build up where you can kind of see exactly what's going on, know exactly like what you need to counter out, and kind of the slow build up. It is very, very quick into it. And speaking of very quick into it, we're going to be jumping right on in to game number 2.
Game number 2. Here we go. Zerton in the color blue once again, playing as the Malians this time around. Louis on the opposite side, also playing as the Malians in the color yellow. We're here on regions, and regions, it's a pretty special map, especially considering that we got 2 Malian players here in a Mali mirror. Because there's not a lot of gold to go around, at least not in like your side of the base. You got 2 gold mines, that's enough for Feudal Age, but after that, where are you gonna go? Remaining gold, it's all in the middle. Wait, let's take a look at the spawn here. What is this? Louis, he's got both the gold mines all the way in the back. Zerton has to move almost to the middle of the map in order to get his second pit mine out. That feels like very far away from his main TC.
Yeah, very convenient for Louis there, but he's moving out to that second gold mine already, as would be expected. The key is, how different do you play this with the Mali mirror? Obviously, we both expect the cow boom, but look at Louis. He's already eating those cows. I think I saw 2 dead cows under his TC, so that allows him kind of this earlier kind of tech up ability just because it's extra tempo early on.
The Malians, I believe, they even spawn with 2 cattle right from the get-go, so I think maybe those have been killed by his villagers. Actually, yeah, the Malian villagers, as soon as they spawn, they immediately, like, they auto-kill the cattle. It's like a pre-input from the game mode itself. Quarry being built by Louis with 8 villagers. Zerton only just now built 4 additional villagers, so Louis' age up is going to be significantly faster here from the looks of it.
Yeah, so already getting that extra bit of gold income, already getting all those extra lovely passive resources. Pit mine not going to be able to be built until that feudal age finishes, but Zerton already has all of the houses around it, already finishing up that mining camp as well, so we'll be prepped and ready once feudal age finishes.
Exactly. Quarry just about finishing for Zerton. No cattle ranches yet. I think cattle ranches also require the feudal age. Zerton does have a good amount of wood though, so as soon as he gets up, we'll be able to immediately drop a couple of those cattle ranches.
We already saw the cows that were just kind of sitting ready and waiting to be put into those. Louis, he's got his first 3 involved, and the next ones are rocking. Double cattle ranches already built. He's got 6 cows already. He's already got 2 full cattle ranches just waiting on them to finish.
Exactly. Zerton scout just in time to see the production building coming out here from Louis. It's going to be a barracks to start up with. Just going to be looking around, trying to get any information that he can right now.
Yeah, wants to see that base layout, wants to see where that secondary gold is for Louis, and probably once he does, he's like, well, really? Come on now. And now he sees that close proximity of both, sees the villagers, the heavy amount of villagers on gold, able to just get so many cows out so fast and really get this cow boom to full fruition early on.
Exactly. Lots of villagers on gold by Louis right now. He's got a really good amount of gold income. Almost 1,000 gold per minute for him right now. It's going to be very fast. And look at that. Looks like Zerton accidentally killed a cattle. It was, that's going to somewhat block his positioning there if he wants to build his age up. So he's going to have to eat that one fast.
Indeed, he will. And I mean, this is kind of one of these that kind of going as expected. You're not going to see too much action until the cow boom's fully online. The biggest action we've seen so far, got one Musafati out for Zerton, and we got a Donzo out for Louis.
Yeah, Donzo is going to make his way out there. I mean, usually the Musafati beat out against the normal spearman, but against Donzo, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure against the Donzo here. I think Donzo should probably win against Musafati warriors, I want to say.
I believe so,
They
especially if I'm thinking
speed.
feudal age.
Yeah, I think feudal age, the Musafatis aren't really that great. So it should be the Donzo that's coming out on top.
Yeah, the extra spear throw definitely a huge benefit as well to get the little bit of aggro down before the full-on engagement happens. And double scout, double Donzo gonna start putting pressure on the houses of Zerton, which might not seem like much, but hey, this is a mirror, and any difference you can make is huge.
Now also archer range coming up. Certainly, he's really committing to the Musafati warrior play, but look at that. He's already invested a lot of gold into these, and kind of the gold that he's missing right now for an age up.
Yeah, the Musafati play just seems weird too, because it allows Mali to transition into units that I just feel like are stronger that Mali wants to make. That being said, the Grand Philonic Corral already on its way, so this timing is so crucial. It allows you to get relics quicker. It allows your cow boom to come to the extra 500 resources per minute quicker, and it allows you to build your pit mines earlier.
What are these T90 cattle ranches here? Those look a little bit odd there from Louis. None of them quite really touching that Grand Philonic Corral there. Looks like most of the cattle, though, are going to be in range.
Yep. Musafati's still trying to get as much damage as possible, but we can just see how delayed this is. Just now starting the age up as Louis is finishing.
It's definitely a big delay. He does have some more military units out right now. Most of them, though, are just these Moose Warriors, and sure, you can mass up a lot of them, but are they really going to be that great? I mean, it's going to be a good counter against Sofas, but none of the players right now are making Sofas. Probably going to be Caster Curse in just a couple seconds, but doesn't look like it right now.
No, it looks like Louis is making the transition to Mustafatis. He says mine will be a little bit better, at least for the time being. I'll be able to match those numbers so quickly, as you can already see the extra food income in the bank. He's immediately up at about 1,000 per minute compared to 600 for Zerton.
Yeah, that's just about the difference there that you get. Horticulture also coming in for Zerton right now. Horticulture, all these eco upgrades have become much more important for the Malians with the cattle boom now. Because cattle boom also gets better now with the eco upgrades. It starts counting towards them. So that's why Louis is already getting the tier 2 food upgrade.
One big difference here with this mirror so far is the walls that are in for Louis. Zerton has a few, but not just this massive safe eco behind it. Whereas Louis, he's invested in a lot of walls, given himself this earlier castle timing to pay off, since Zerton invested a little bit more into military. And the Musafati numbers, they're basically dead even.
They are. Zerton is the only one right now that has archers, but Louis is also prepping some archery ranges at the moment. So he's going to be able to catch up with that. Food count, it's getting more and more even. Zerton, though, has not gotten that that really important tier 2 food upgrade yet.
Yep. Looks like he's just getting a few more upgrades in. Wall gate does get canceled and then rebuilt again, and then canceled and then rebuilt again. The classic little bit of some wall micro here, but the villager goes down, the wall goes down as the archers arrive.
Look at that. Louis really pushing pedal to the metal here when it comes to the Musafati warrior production. 33 out, has overtaken Zerton and has much more in queue, and now Zerton is going into Sofas. They're actually a heavily armored unit. They're a heavily armored unit. They get counted out by the Moose Warriors.
It's such a bait, because you're like, oh, they're like horsemen, right? And it's like, yes and no. And you're right, like full countered out by those Moose Warriors, and that's all mainly what Louis is focusing on. He's making their archer transition as well, but he just climbed with those Moose numbers so much faster.
I'm a little bit perplexed, but now Zerton's actually going into Warrior Scouts? Mass Warrior Scouts? Is that the plan? If you're not sure about the composition, just make everything? Probably.
Hey, if it works, it works, and it looks like we're starting to see an engagement on this pit mine that Zerton was trying to invest on into, and Louis says, fine, I'm pretty sure I got the numbers here with the quick highlight, with the quick look up at the top. It definitely seems like he's got the numbers here, so if this fight goes his way, it's just going to be a steamroll after that. Pit mine denial. Musafati's just taking a great trade here in the center with support from the backside archers.
Yeah, the archer count. Louis also scaling there quite a bit better. And looking at the economy right now, Zerton, he's getting a lot of gold at the moment, but it's the wood. It's the wood that makes a big difference when you want to mass up these archers, and that's why Louis is just able to overrun him right now. And 28 Musafati warriors, 25 archers compared to the 10 Musafati warriors from Zerton, and 16 archers. Louis right now having a really big army lead.
Yeah, all of a sudden we blink and Louis doubling the army after that fight. Like we said, that's just going to create this big snowball. All of these houses that we're invested into, denied. That pit mine that he wanted to have some extra gold income, denied. And now he needs to try to equalize the military numbers, and Louis, he can do whatever he wants behind this. He can spare extra resources for upgrades such as we see with poison archers, which is a very expensive upgrade, but when it comes through, it's just so devastating.
Zerton behind this, also trying to grab some of the relics. 2 already on their way. It's gonna have a 3rd one in the back, but look at that. The same gold mine where Zerton just tried making all of these houses and pit mines on. It has been completely converted for Louis. Now regression coming out.
And now that next pit mine's starting to be focused, and he's saying thank you very much. Again, we see the numbers here just so favoring Louis. The steamroll of his whole entire front side base. Louis taking this fight, and he should be taking this fight as the Musafati circling around the backside. Archers, just a damaging unit. Poison archers hasn't even come through yet, but it doesn't even matter.
The army count right now looking really good. There was a change, so the warrior scouts now do bonus damage against the archers, but what good is the bonus damage when they don't even have any pierce armor? They're getting one shot. The warrior scouts, they're not working.
Yep. Poison archers isn't even finished yet, but when it does, this mass for Louis is just going to be all the more devastating. Zerton's trying to regroup back over to the gold, sending Vils back that way, but let Louis take a second, say mass up these units yet again. Poison archers is through. Next set of upgrades is starting to come through as well because he has the gold to spare. He has the resources to do it and finds himself at a 10 Vil lead after that push.
Yeah, lots of villagers went down. I mean, a little bit gets made up, or rather it gets better for Zerton having those relics, but having that pit mine in the middle of the map, it's just so much more beneficial right now for Louis. And Louis, he's got pretty much uncontested gold there in the middle, and Zerton, he always has to fall back off gold whenever Louis starts pushing forward here.
Yeah, and those scouts are going to do that much less now that the upgrades come through, now that the poison archers come through. Second tier range damage coming through, and you can already see those poison arrows going now. Another fight being taken by Louis and just continuing to just slow push this, not overstep, because that could be the way you lose the game. Just overstep just a little bit, but slow, methodical pushes. Eke out your advantages here and there until you know you can close the game.
Behind that, blacksmith upgrades coming in for both players. Zerton house right now doesn't have a pit mine to put house on, needs to just drop him outside of the pit mine influence. Right now, Louis, 140 pop compared to 114. Zerton has been investing a lot into these warrior scouts now, but we saw them getting one shot earlier. Sure, they do bonus damage at the moment against the archers, but I feel like you really need javelin throwers here instead. They just don't have the armor, the warrior scouts. They just don't.
Louis fighting against those warrior scouts. He thinks he likes something that he's fighting against, because now he's making that warrior scout transition as well. No more Musafatis. It's warrior scouts and archers mainly. Those warrior scouts are Zerton trying to push forward to do some damage on the pit mine. He wants it back. He wants that gold location back. It's so key and crucial to have 3 pit mines up. If your opponent has 3 pit mines up but hasn't been able to do so, Louis sees the army run past and decides to push forward himself, and will force a reaction from Zerton here.
This is a really tough fight. Has the outpost there, but that one can get taken down really quickly. Fight now happening at the same time. Zerton pushing in with a couple of warrior scouts in the base from Louis. Reinforcements are going to be enough to deal with that. Warrior scouts just... This ain't it. This ain't it. They're not cooking. These warrior scouts, they're not cooking.
You needed those warrior scouts to be with this fight if you're going to take the head-on engagement. If you're going to raid, you need to fall back. You need to not take engagement, stall, delay, but instead, Zerton decided to take it. It lost a ton, and now he's starting to lose the warrior scouts in the base due to Louis' reinforcements. And Louis winning trade after trade after trade.
Weirdly enough, destruction value is pretty even.
It's weird that it feels that way, but you know, somehow it just still has continually felt that Louis is a step ahead in this game, although numbers don't always tell it that way.
True. 50 archers out right now for Louis. And the villager lead as well. We only see destruction value. We don't see the total resources gathered, and that must definitely be in the lead here for Louis right now.
Yeah. Especially having the pit mine lead, having the villager lead, and having the military lead. It just seems like he is doing all of the right things. He's sitting here, you know, getting closer to max population, getting all of the eco upgrades in, all of the military upgrades in. He's getting, I think, lastly, military academy to make all his production that much better, that much stronger.
Is it just me, or does it feel like Louis hasn't made a single, rather, other than the Donzas in the beginning, he hasn't made a single unit, like, with his own initiative? He's just been copying what Zerton's been doing, but just with the better economy, being able to just push, pump out so much more. And here we go, fight happening. Archers pushing forward. Warrior
Scouts diving through the backside forces Zerton's units back. So rather than having his warrior scouts on the counter unit, he's forced back. And this is a huge win for Louis, as now his archers, they go untouched with poison arrows. They can take down everything in the path, and he has the archer numbers still. Villagers even move forward during this fight. More reinforcing units for Louis, and Louis wins it heavily yet again. Zerton needs to fall back, needs to step back before and have some more reinforcements before this game is just going to be ended here.
Archer mass pushing forward, but the mass from Louis just has more archers out here right now. The economy behind it also looking better for him at the moment still, but he has to fall back. The reinforcements are just closer from Zerton. Looks like he also tried to harass some.
Yeah, had a couple of those warrior scouts killing some reinforcing units, made sure that Louis wasn't able to regroup and mass back up as he was. And so this is where Louis just needs to take a breath again, get everything together, and join back together. Look, is that a sofa transition now? As it looks like imported armor, or maybe he's just got too much gold that he knows what to do with.
Could be a sofa transition. There aren't any more Musafati warriors right now, and we do see him queue up 3 immediately.
Yeah, and now, just like you said, looking at Zerton's army, there's no longer any unit that counters that sofa. The sofa is going to just train through the whole entire military of Zerton.
It's gonna be really tough once the sofas come out. Archer mass still firmly in the lead for Louis. Warrior scouts trying to do their best against the archers here, but look at them, every single volley. Warrior scouts going down.
And there's the sofa, and just watch how much tankier they're going to be from these compared to the warrior scouts. Warrior scouts getting one shot, the sofa taking a couple volleys and able to close the gap, allowing more damage from your own archers.
That was before imported armor. Imported armor just came in. Look at them now. They're getting tickled.
Yep. Does look like Zerton sees the sofa by Louis, thinks the same himself, but Louis, again, a step ahead. He's transitioning back into Musafati again, back into another frontline mass, doing that 1-1-1, little bit of everything.
Now the fight gets taken here, but now with the sofas, the archers, they just can't really kill him quickly enough.
Yeah, the transition was just a little bit too late for Zerton. He's starting to try to produce the sofas, starting to get them out on the field. 7 in queue, but it's just too late, and the trades are just so beneficial for Louis here. He's doubling the military.
Placement, rather defensive placement, coming out on that outpost, but the archer mass from Zerton getting dangerously low now. It's 50 versus 30.
I mean, and as it just gets lower and lower, this gets exponentially worse, as I don't think this number for archers is going to drop below 50 for Louis, and I think Zerton's about to be at 0.
And the pop count, as Vodka is highlighting, It's 80 compared to 150 right now. And with that, the entire army from Zerton is going down. And it looks like Louis is taking the set really convincingly right now. He's going to have a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, with mirror matchups starting on out has made it look easy. Yes, it was some crazy back and forth. There were opportunities here and there, but even still, I mean, shored up his base, kept the foot on the gas, and just continued the pressure. Doesn't want Zerton to breathe, just the tempo aggressive civilization here.
Almost up to 100 military. There we go. 100 military compared to 28. Army value tripled by Louis.
And now with the secondary pit mine getting denied, there's no gold income really for Zerton now. Obviously, he's got gold in the bank and all the upgrades are in, so it doesn't matter that much, but it still is a bigger effect in the grand scheme of things. Whenever you're denied off of resources, you might need any transitions later, or Imperial Age could come out for Louis, more importantly. 120 military to 40 though, it's over. I mean, just go ahead and pack this one up. Let's move on to game number 3 and see if we can start a potential reverse sweep, as every series has had at least a game go off.
Exactly. And Louis, having 70 archers, he's able to actually take good fights against these sofas. And with that, GG gets called. Zerton knows that this one is not one that he can call back from. 2-0 for now for Louis. And it's been 2 mirrors so far. Let's see if the next one could potentially be go in the way of Zerton. And look at that, Mem coming in with a big raid. Mem,
big
from
shout out to
AV2.
Mem.
Mem in his community. Everybody welcome. It's Empire Wars right now here at EGC. Playing Empire Wars, the game mode that you all know and love from Age of Empires 2. It's here in Age of Empires 4 as well. We're seeing Louis versus Zerton right now. And look at that. We already know what the next game is going to be in the set. It's going to be Mongols versus the Ottomans. We're going to be playing here on Dry Arabia.
Yeah, and with this series, last set of the day, we're just going to be jumping on to this one rather quickly. We're going to see some very tempo aggressive civilization, some very aggressive play early on here.
Indeed. And the game is just about to start. Only a couple of seconds remaining. Mongols versus Ottomans. This is going to be interesting. I mean, usually we think that Ottomans is favored against Mongols in the normal default game mode. But here in Empire Wars, anything goes.
That is absolutely true. You'll usually see that early spear investment into both sides, but having some quicker feudal age. But enough of talking about it. You can see that timer ticking down. We are in to game number 3. Zerton spawning in the west side as the Ottomans, Louis in the east as the Mongols, and it is Dry Arabia, everyone's favorite.
Exactly. Empire Wars, there are a couple of differences. As always, every single civilization is different here in Age of Empires 4. So they all get unique bonuses in Empire Wars. The Mongols, they start with 2 pastures right away. Pastures, unique building for the Mongols that spawn sheep periodically. They're next to the Uvu, building that generates stone for the Mongols and also boosts nearby buildings. So the pastures also produce these sheep a little bit faster. On the other side, the Ottomans, what do they get? They do start with a military school, a building unique to the Ottomans, produces military units for free, and a free blacksmith as well. Blacksmiths boost the production buildings from the Ottomans, so that free military school also gets a little bit of a boost here.
Yeah, and this is looking like the typical opening for the Mongols against any civilization, non-Empire Wars. We want to see Tower Rush, but oddly enough, it's actually not a tower denying any resources or putting any pressure on the other side. It looks like Louis just wants a tower to get some vision, to get some control here in some stealth forest for himself.
And now we see Silver Tree coming up for Louis. 9 villagers working on that one. So potentially this is going to be one of the first Mongol games in quite a while that we see in Empire Wars where they're going to start trading again. And I mean, the trade posts aren't that bad. They're in the corner. This is not bad trading here for the Mongols.
Yeah, not at all, but I just feel like you're giving up so much with not going Silver Tree. You're not really giving yourself this huge eco boost right off the bat when Feudal Age hits. You're more of this like long-term investment, almost like investing into a TC. And Zerton, he gets forward with those Dark Age Spearmen that he had, forces out an outpost, but steps a little bit too close into some TC range, takes some return damage. Spears are still going to be alive and breathing. That one just barely.
Yeah, the 4 Spearmen gonna try and run around, try and find some other avenues to damage. Outpost did go up. It's in the stealth forest, so the Spearmen can't really see it from outside. They're now walking towards that Ubu, and there's only a stable out. No archery range yet, and with that, looks like Zerton can potentially do some damage here.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, you can either deny some sheep that are running back to the town center from those pastures. If those Keshiks, or I guess it looks like one Keshik in queue pops out, the Spearman, if it goes out on the wrong side, the Spearman can get a lot of damage onto that counter unit.
Zerton gonna pay attention. Sheep about to pump out of these pastures. If he pays attention, he can kill the sheep.
Yeah.
Ah, doesn't look like it.
Looks like he's trying to prioritize the damage on the stables, but you can't forget that the stables can always just be rolled on away. The outpost starting to be upgraded that was in that stealth forest, and as I mentioned, pasture or any Mongol building, the ability of that civilization, they can move around their buildings, pack them on up, and relocate elsewhere.
Exactly. So that building is not gonna go down here. Spearman on the retreat now, back to the base of Zerton. What's he got in store for us now? He is looking to make some Spahi now as well. Some of these horsemen coming out for him, and also archery range is being dropped here.
Yeah, this is looking more like that 1 TC all-in auto play rather than the 2 TC economic play we've been seeing a lot more often in Empire Wars from the Ottomans. And I totally get it. If he scouts out the Silver Tree, if he scouts out this long-term trade eco play by your opponent, just play to your civilization's strength, which is military, and deny the investment from your opponent.
Exactly. Kashyyyks running around with the Khan, providing all of that line of sight. With that, Zerton's gonna have to evacuate that gold mine. So villagers early. And he's looking to be making mass Spahi right now from looks of it. Already 2 out on the field, 2 more in queue. Goes for the outpost now.
Ooh, goes for the outpost right as some archers were trying to come back into the reinforcements, and perfect time for Spahi to pull out of those military schools and out of the stables and get on top of those archers, because that's the perfect counter unit, can get a lot of denial on Louis's army right as he was making that push forward.
Archers kiting backwards. Spearman trying to catch up. Zerton isn't going to be able to chase this. Has to fall back for now. It's also messing up his own kind of unit composition here. But in the end, we're going to be seeing Spahi here, Spahi and archers, versus Kashyyyk and archers. And I feel like in the end, this is always going to go in favor of the Mongols with the Kashyyks. As strong as the Spahi are, the Kashyyks, they heal themselves with every single attack. They have a little bit faster attack speed. And faster attack speed in drawn-out battles makes a big difference. Also, they take much less damage from the archer fire with their additional ranged armor.
Yeah, you just forgot one key factor here, is that Zerton, he is going Spahi Archer, but he's got one little other unit. He's going with the 1-1-1 composition. He still has some spears. He's not constantly producing them, but every now and then. And that allows his Spahi to actually chase down the archers, close the gap there, and then the Kashyyks are forced to either fight the Spahi, which they don't want to do because then the archers are firing at everything they want to, or closing on the other side, which they can't do due to spears protecting the archer mass.
Ooh, Knights finding the villagers there, trying to get the military school up. Vizier point also coming in. This could potentially be the meta point for Zerton. No meta coming out yet, though. Maybe instead it's just going to be an additional military school.
And Spahi, they're chasing down that Khan. They're using that extra bit of movement speed to force this fight. The spearmen behind them will help with that reinforcing unit mass, but looks like Louis going to be able to just kind of outmaneuver them a little bit and get back home towards his base and regroup back up.
The Termas building up for both of these players, but behind that, Louis, he's on the trade. And look at that, Zerton, just in time with his scout, is going to spot out that Louis is indeed currently trading. Trade in Age of Empires 4. Also think in the Feudal Age, you can get that nice and early, and Mongols get a lot of additional bonuses to their trade, so that's a great way for them to scale the economy instead of going for an additional town center.
Yeah, and immediately is able to react to that potential Sipahi raid. It might not be the correct unit that he wants to fight Sipahi, but with enough of them and with the support from the outposts and his Keshik mobility, his trade should be secured for the time being.
The Keshik's gonna be really, really strong here. Louis also has a lot of stone remaining, so could double produce some of them at any point in time. Matter out here on the field. Is going to boost up all the Ottoman units here. Going to give them plus 15% attack speed. Or one ranged armor.
Yeah, and we're kind of starting to see Ottomans benefit over time. Just slowly eking out a military lead. Even though they're down in some eco, the military numbers should just be heavily in their favor. Louis invested a little bit more into the higher value units, but hasn't been able to find too much damage with those knights, Keshiks.
Yeah, for now, army value relatively even between both players here. Army count, though, in favor of Zerton. Could potentially see him trying to zerg it out in a big battle here between them. Lots of production buildings out for Louis here. Triple archery range and double stable.
Yeah,
No,
I just feel like Louis...
Boo-boo.
Yeah, I feel like Louis is investing so much into these outposts, trying to protect this trade route, but it's such a bait because once that melee mass gets big enough, or Sipahi mass gets big enough, you start pulling those archers all around, and the Sipahi can burn the outposts so quickly.
Exactly. Louis is going to have to be careful of that. More Sipahi coming out. 5 in queue right now. 3 of them probably free from military schools. Additional walls also coming out here from Zerton.
Yep. And just kind of circling back around, you can see what Zerton's main focus in. He wants to attack the market, attack the neutral market, and cut off the trade point. And Louis knows this, so he's been massing up that way. We're about to see the first big clash potentially, but military's just kind of squaring off, staring at each other, waiting for the right opportunity.
Spy trying to take the engagements here. Archers firing off, but looks like Louis, he's just pulling back for now. Some movement speed arrow from the Khan. All the units getting a little bit of movement speed boost here. I feel like Zerton just needs to step back here and just make sure to deny the trade. I don't think he can actually take this fight, or at least he can't infinitely chase after these units. But the fight is gonna keep going.
Spears are still alive and into the mass, so the archers, they're doing a great job supporting this unit mass, and Louis, he is losing numbers and losing numbers rather quickly. The Keshiks can't take the engagement just because the spears are there, and Louis just has to fall back. Trade starting to be denied, and look at the military numbers. His numbers have fallen so quickly.
Yeah, but the spearmen have all been taken down now. Now the Sipahi are a little bit left alone there against the Keshiks, and the Keshiks suddenly start doing a lot of damage against the Sipahi.
Yep, spearman number needs to mass back up quickly, needs to regroup. Fortunately, thing for Zerton is the Ottoman Sipahi a little bit faster than the Keshiks if they get out of the yam range. Yeah, they got to get out of the yam range to be able to actually not take any more damage and stay alive.
There's outpost after outpost. The outposts from the Mongols, they boost up the cavalry from them, giving them plus 15% movement speed. That means that the Keshiks actually faster than the Sipahi here. Right, finally out of the range. Keshiks has stopped glowing. With that, Sipahi should be able to get out. Just the charges coming in.
But look at the queue for Zerton right now. 7 Sipahi. He is full ready for this all in. He knows how much damage he did to Louis with that push before and wants to keep up the pressure. Doesn't want to allow Louis any time to stabilize, any time for this trade to get back online.
Exactly. Still has the Matter. Matter only half HP though, but does have a second one on its way there. Reinforcements are coming in. Just needs to send him forward now. Can't let himself get caught out now. There are a couple of Keshiks out here. Zerton has to be careful with this army. The reinforcements are here.
Reinforcements are indeed there. Only a few spears there, and he's choosing to just fall back. Snipes down the Khan. GG's in the chat, but then takes the turn right as the Khan is finished. So no extra support arrows, and just potentially out of that outpost yam range.
Matter gets sniped. Another Matter, though. It's gonna be in the reinforcement army. It's gonna buff up all the units once again. Now the army's looking really good here for Zerton, and he also has a lot of food in the bank. If he puts more villagers onto gold, he could also look for an age up here soon.
Yeah, I feel like we just saw that reinforcement mass come in, and it was like equal to the size of his main army that was forward. So all of a sudden, reinforcements are there. Rams start being dropped. Once rams are coming in, you are counting down the seconds, counting down the minutes before the game could potentially end or just turn right around the other way. Louis diving in with some Keshiks. The first ram finishes. Now is where the outposts start getting cleared so easily.
Zerton, he's not letting up on the spearman production right now as well. Lots of spearmen still in queue. Takes a fight here potentially, or can take a fight here if he wants to. Archers trading out against each other. Sipahi getting stuck on the outpost. Matter gets taken down. Fighting here without the meta buff could hurt Zerton quite a bit. New Matter is in queue. It's going to take a while, though, for him to rejoin the fight here.
Yeah, the Sipahi, though, they're still trading pretty efficiently. Zerton behind this, still continuing to step up. The Keshiks not able to take the full-on engagement yet, and there's just so many Sipahi. I just feel like their damage, they're able to get so many extra shots on due to that little bit of extra range, and Zerton, he doesn't even worry about kiting back with the archers anymore. He just takes the head-on engagement, A moves this on, and I think he wins this one pretty heavy-handedly.
The Keshiks, they're still quite tanky. It takes them a while to go down this pipe. They don't have the attack speed that the Keshiks have, and actually, the Keshiks trading out really, really nicely here. Zerton has to fall back. Where are the spearmen?
A lot of the villagers running on by there. Again, the spearmen are in reinforcements. They were right behind, not into the fight. And as they join the fight, Louis, he pulls back with the Keshiks. Perfect timing there. Couple of the Sipahi getting onto the archer masses, and these military numbers have just been falling on both sides now.
But now, army value looking firmly in favor of Louis. He does have the Keshik, the high-value army here. Janissaries have been called. 8 Janissaries, the Janissary company. We're seeing it now. This could actually be the best way to counter out all of these Keshiks now, with a range shield that actually does bonus damage to them. Zerton suddenly flips around the army value once again.
Yeah, the archers do a great job at killing the Janissaries, but they're so hard to actually get into range of the Janissaries. With that many Sipahi, if 24 archers step up, you could just be calling it game. And the archers, they're trying to step up now. The Janissaries, though, the support unit is on its way. Such high base damage and the extra damage against cavalry. It makes Louis just run on away with those Keshiks.
Louis, though, has really good micro. Matter gets taken down. And looks like Louis, he's sniping down the Janissaries. They're getting sniped. They're going down quickly.
Look at that micro. The archers do turn, but just that quick, 24 archers turns into 15, and there's still Janissaries alive. They're still reinforcing units. Zerton's gotten to the point where now he's starting to double the military count. Eco numbers still a little bit favoring Louis, but Zerton is just keeping the pressure up, keeping the pedal to the metal.
Trade is just such an efficient way to scale the economy behind all of this. Louis, he's still scaling very, very nicely here. The army scaling as well. There's a lot of archers in favor of Zerton, but I feel like you need more than double the amount of supply.
His struggles the food. His trade's online great. You got gold, but where's the food? He never moved on to the berries. You just saw him moving out to the deer, but it's just not enough. He just idled for a little bit of time. Engagement's happening yet again, but this time Zerton, it's not just a few numbers. It is heavily handed on his favor, and Louis having to fall back, and not only is he falling back, the numbers are just all falling.
Yes, big mass of them. Cleaning up all of the archers here, and now this is where Zerton smells blood. This is where he's able to dive in. Zerton diving under the Mongol base. The archers left behind, though.
Yeah, who cares about TC fire? Who cares about any defenses? It is 70 to 16 on the military count. Outposts are starting to get taken down, and we all know that trade will not be able to complete a route any longer with this mass cutting it off in the center.
Archer mass fighting against each other. Sipahi once again taking a fight there. Keshik still high value, but look at how fast the Keshiks go down to the Janissary fire there. Just 3 Janissaries remaining, but they do so much damage here. 2 Janissaries. The micro from Louis being able to snipe these out. Actually insane. But still, 2 Janissaries are enough to deal a lot of damage here. And with that, Louis taps out and 1 game here. For Zerton, could this be the beginning of the reverse sweep?
I mean, we're keeping up the series that every single one, we haven't had a 3-0 that we have casted here today. Everyone's at least gotten a game off, but it could be a potential game 5 here in the near future. But first, we're going to see Kawasan, a little bit of that hybrid map ability here, a little bit of some water play, and it's English versus Chinese.
That's gonna be an interesting one. We saw the matchup earlier where China, they went for like the extended feudal age and they really struggled against English. Question is, will Louis learn from that matchup that he saw earlier? And will he be able to like find that little bit of transition period that he needs in order to get up to castle age earlier on? Gonna find out in just a little bit.
Yeah, we did see Wham go heavily into only Chukanu, not really going into any other unit, and it works for a little bit, but not for the long term, and just didn't prove to be enough. But we're about to jump into this game number 4 of our final series of the day here.
Exactly. Just about to begin, and it looks like we're on our way now. Here we go. Our game number 4 in our last set of the day. It's gonna be Zerton playing as the English here on Kawasan. On the other side, we have LoueMT playing as the Chinese, and Zerton immediately starting off with the barracks as the... Oh, wait. Huh. Think we should probably restart the
Reload and check some integrity of those files, maybe? And we can just talk about some stuff again, you know? This is a great time to talk about a great way to support the Age of Empires 4 community. The next tournaments, I know Pessy's already got some planned, and we will give you all the details of the ones that are planned next. I believe the number was if we get 50 total Patreons. I don't know exactly what number we're at now, but lovely way to support, lovely way to get extra information, and kind of just have that long-term way to help these players out in the long run.
Exactly. Since we did get raided by MTV earlier, that the cubes, that reminds me that there is a player in Age of Empires 2 actually who plays with a cube mod where all of his buildings or all the resources, not the buildings, but like all the resources, it's everything, it's just cubes. I don't recall off the top of my head who it was. I know it was one of the Nordic kind of players, but yeah, it's we do have the cube mod return here in Age of Empires 4 from the looks of it.
Yeah, I don't really know what the benefit of that would be, but maybe if you get used to it, it has some sort of benefit in some sense. But yeah, with some of the AoE 2 people joining on in the stream, obviously we talked a little bit more about the details on like what the buildings were, kind of some of the intricacies, what the benefits are to some of the civs, and now we'll jump into hybrid here with AoE 4. And one thing with 4 with hybrid maps is it is a very key focus onto water. A little bit less with Empire Wars, but still a huge focus into water when it comes to hybrid maps.
Exactly. And here we go. Once again, our game number 4. LoueMT playing as the Chinese versus Zerton playing as the English. We're here on Kawasan. We do have those double pawns here as well. Barracks immediately being finished here by Zerton. And Louis, he's gonna look towards getting some water play going here. Gets the dock out on one of those pawns.
And look at how quick he got Wheelbarrow invested. Definitely had that mill supervised. Wheelbarrow goes through in the blink of an eye. So one of the most important upgrades out there. And you can see how much faster that villager's sprinting out to build that dock there on the center for Louis compared to the slow little trot there by Zerton.
Yeah, but interesting. Zerton, he's going to try to contest on water here. Last time we saw this matchup, there was no water play at all from Mr. He was going only on land. Zerton, though, looking to contest on water. Now, both these civilizations do have bonuses when it comes to making units on water. The English get a little bit of a discount on all of their ships, while the Chinese produce them quicker. And yeah, it's like a give and take there. The Chinese, they also get some additional economic bonuses with the Imperial officials.
Yep, we are seeing that Barbican, that nice defensive structure dropped down in between the wood lines on the stone as well. So will provide a lot of safety for that Chinese economy that loves to boom up, that loves to really invest into that long-term eco. And obviously we talked about water being a great way to do it. Already 3 docks out for Louis.
Yeah, Louis definitely investing heavily into water here on these different ponds. Couple of men-at-arms coming up from Zerton, now following up with some longbowmen. I'm wondering if Zerton is only making that dock for like an emplacement kind of play, but he's not moved out to stone yet at all.
Oh, you know what he is moving out to do? It's tower the wood line of Louis. So we saw this being one of the game plans from the Misso when he was playing on the English. It's the wood lines are so key to deny from your opponent, because if they're investing into water, well, that's wood that's gone to a dock that hasn't gone to maybe production buildings and other things out there, but it immediately gets spotted out. Louis pulls the shiv out with the villager, at least puts that vill down to half health, and supervises the horseman popping out, so should be able to deny the outpost before it goes up. What a play by LoueMT.
Great timing here. Horseman gonna be able to snipe out the villager. Now, horsemen, they don't really trade too favorably against the men-at-arms here, but having these horsemen means that Zerton has to be very careful about his reinforcements. He can't just trickle them in one by one. He has to group them up, else they get sniped out by the horsemen. Look at that. One longbowman left alone, gets sniped.
Yeah, and I love the immediate ability for the Chinese to be able to adapt and react so quickly. Louis, with the Imperial official usage, just swaps it over, immediately supervises that stables, and makes the horsemen come out that much quicker to make sure the tower doesn't go up.
Yeah, using the versatility of that kind of like supervision from the Imperial official on the military buildings. Now also going into archers. So we're going to be seeing a mixture here of both horsemen and archers coming out from him, just as Zerton is switching into some spearmen.
Yeah, I mean, the horseman, it does force the spearman. You need a protection for your archer mass. But now, I love the play by Louis. Just no need to get Song Dynasty. Your eco advantage is the water. Zerton has not invested in the fishing ship, has not been on the water yet. So you're going to be able to mass up faster than him over time. And especially if you can take off some of these trades, but loses a horseman attempting the reinforcing unit raid.
Exactly. More horsemen in queue. A lot more, actually. 3. That's quite the investment, considering every single horseman costs 100 food here.
Yeah, the food, though, not really going to be too big of a problem with that little bit of fishing, but does look like the eastern dock might have been denied by a galley there of Zerton from that dock. So good ability to at least stall out and delay some of this eco advantage that Louis has.
Yeah, looks like Zerton is also looking towards taking care of some of these docks here. So that means that he is going to have this pond here for himself. Also drops an outpost in the middle of the map. Oh, there's a demo ship, though, in production from Louis.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
The units are spread out. Oh, no.
I'm so scared right now.
It's happening.
Demo about to pop out. It's there.
Oh, heavy damage. All the men-at-arms. 3.
I mean, I feel like that's like 500 resources it was just able to pick up almost, maybe even
and Louis
more.
He doesn't skip a beat. He does not skip a beat. With the supervision, he has more units out right now than Zerton, and an outpost isn't going to go up. Has to be cancelled yet again.
Just a perfect play by LoueMT again and again. There's only a few spears here, so the horseman able to get efficiently a surround here on the longbows, not taking too much return damage. Archer's able to immediately, I think, snipe out that spearman. So now Louis delays this push from the English, delays this kind of powerhouse of this ball of the English military getting online.
And I'm still taking some good trades here against the horseman. But the horseman, the micro, really good. Louis just making sure that they're always going to be fighting against the longbows, not taking any shots against the men-at-arms.
Able to pick up that villager that Zerton was trying to sneak and finish the outpost with. It might have come out that Zerton had more units at the end of that fight where we were seeing it, but Louis, he is definitely in the better position from what I'm seeing. You can see the eco numbers at the top. You can see the military numbers. Yeah, some men-at-arms, but feudal age men-at-arms for the English, not too great until you start getting above double digits and have the longbow support.
Yeah, exactly. Louis He's making a lot of archers right now. I love seeing that. Like earlier we saw the Jugunu, but the reason why the Jugunu just does not work against the longbowmen, it's slow. It is very slow. The army from Louis, it needs to be fast. It needs to strike quickly. Zerton, he's only got slow units out on the field right now. That is where Louis has the upper hand. A villager gets picked off. The outpost is never finishing.
This is just perfect timing. No network of castles bonus able to empower that English army to attack that much faster, to be that much stronger. But Zerton does close down, kills one of the docks from earlier, and denies some more fishing.
Some value being gained behind that. Also scaling with the fishing ships. He's 10 eco units ahead right now. Destruction value also looking really, really solid here for him. Man arms count is being built up further and further.
And Louis, he's onto the stone pretty heavily. Is he gonna like sneak a second TC behind this during all of this pressure and kind of start to make that Chinese transition into eco? Or is that just for docked investments?
I think it's just gonna be dock investments there.
Yeah, he has one dock emplacement there already, but 400 stone in the bank is quite a bit.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna... He can go for it additionally. Like, you're not gonna drop, like, 3 dock emplacements, especially since Zerton, he's not really actively investing into water of his own.
And now we're starting to see the pressure by Louis diving into that wood line, dropping the Imperial Academy behind it. So will activate that Song Dynasty, allow himself some faster villager production with his TCs. And there is the second TC. So it just took a little bit of time to get to the 2 TC Song Dynasty play. He still hasn't started Song yet. But it's better late than never. And it feels good doing this when you actually have eco and a military to support it.
Yeah, Louis right now just looking absolutely solid here in this game. Imperial Academy getting rushed up by 11 villagers, so Song Dynasty right around the corner. With that, also unlocking the upgrade for his Imperial Official, being able to take out a lot more of the tax gold. And can we actually take a look at the buildings right now from Louis? I think there's probably a lot of tax waiting in those, if he didn't add any additional Imperial Officials. He did add a couple. We could still check out some of these lumber camps, see how much tax gold is remaining in there. 37. He's been doing the work. He's gathered up most of it.
Not as much as I would expect. Still some decent bit of tax gold in there, and with the Imperial Academy, obviously it makes the tax gold be a little bit more effective there too.
Yeah, every building that's in the influence of Imperial Academy generating double the tax. So whenever a unit drops off any resource there, they generate 1, and in the influence 2 extra gold that can then get picked up by the Imperial Official.
And we're still just kind of seeing this standoff in the mid-map. But one of the keys here over and over for Zerton is he does not have the network bonus during these fights. He was never able to get up an outpost, never able to move that forward to help him have that attack speed bonus.
Exactly. He keeps building up his army mass, but still hasn't really caused any major idle time on Louis' side. And now Louis actually starts to invest into Jugunu now.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the frontline mass, you got some archer support as well. Just, you know, make the unit that everyone hates to go up against, as it's so good at countering everything. Speaking of second TCs, though, Zerton, he's got one going as well.
Yeah, so both players going for that 2 TC play. However, Louis' TCs going to be working a little bit faster here. Every villager from Louis, since he's in Song Dynasty, only takes 15 seconds to produce. 20 seconds for Zerton. And he still has the water behind it. Look at that. He suddenly made a lot of fishing ships on water.
Yeah, it has quite a bit of eco behind this, and it just really can transition this into a very strong mid game. Looks like he wants to fully deny the dock out of Zerton on the eastern pond. So Louis, he's got double docks, double ponds secured for himself, which is a recipe for a win here.
Zerton investing into a demo ship right now, but that's not going to help him a lot. And behind that, Louis, he's getting ready to go into Castle Age.
Yep, you can see the resources starting to accrue. Looks like Zerton's planning on a Castle Age play as well. So both of these players just kind of making these similar timings on the transitions. I love that Louis protects himself up with these forward walls. So he's planning on this Castle Age. You saw the walls in the northeast. You can see the walls starting to be outlined in the southwest. And then everything is going to be all about this middle canal.
Exactly. Military mass from Zerton. It's a lot of units. Men-at-Arms, high value unit there as well. Those get upgraded. Louis is definitely gonna need some crossbows, but yeah, it looks like Louis is gonna be the first one by a long time to click up to the next age. 24 villagers, 24 Chinese villagers building that astronomical clock tower. This age up is getting rushed.
Very, very rushed. Castle Age is finished. Louis has security. Zerton finally finished an outpost in the mid-map. But this is where Louis gets these upgrades in and gets them in very quickly if he utilizes supervision as well, which can almost nullify some of this English kind of feudal age pressure.
Zerton is now going to try to push in as long as the upgrades haven't come in yet. It's going to be able to potentially get an outpost, get a village down here. Is that going to be enough, though? Upgrades are starting to come in for Louis. Veterancy on the Shuganu and King's Palace coming in for Zerton now.
And it doesn't really look like those are being supervised, just going in nice and slow. But Zerton's age up coming in nice and slow because he does not have that extra build speed like the Chinese civilization.
He's going to have to be careful because now he's aging up, but his army is a little bit out of position here. Doesn't look though like Louis is chasing that one immediately. Louis is getting a nest of bees out. So some siege play here as well. This could be tough against Zerton's army, which is only comprised of infantry.
Oh, triple demos takes out both of the sprinkled ships over there for Louis' side, but Zerton is having to fall back now right as his Castle Age finished. Louis, he has his upgrades and Zerton doesn't, so that's where he thinks he can win this fight and he can take it to him.
The outpost. Zerton, he's not been having a good time with him for now. It took him so long to get an outpost up in the middle of the map, and now it's getting taken down again.
So quickly, but look at the upgrades coming in for Zerton. So high priority upgrades. We're seeing the range damage, we're seeing the longbow upgrade, but lastly is the men-at-arms become walking tanks.
Armor-clad upgrade coming in. There's no crossbows yet, or at least only a couple. Outpost once again gets denied. Nest of Beasts out there now. Armor-clad upgrade not in yet. Veterancy, or rather the normal men-at-arm upgrade, not in there as well yet. Still, Zerton pushing forward. Wants to take the fight as the upgrades are coming in. Armor-clad has now been researched. Wants to get on top of the Nest of Beasts here. All the upgrades just came in.
Look at the micro by Louis, though. He just constantly kites back around the nest of bees with his ranged mass. As I say that, Caster Curse, he stops kiting back. He gets surrounded by the men-at-arms. The longbows are closing the gap as well. So a really good pickup here by Zerton and his army.
Yeah, Zerton also getting the +2 damage upgrade for his longbowmen. And the Palace Guards from Louis, they lack the armor. They get 1 less armor than the normal men-at-arms, so the archers actually do a lot of damage here to them. They're one-shotting them.
We're seeing Zerton doubling the military mass. Can he close? Can he turn this back into an eco advantage for himself? Or will Louis be able to hold the men-at-arms? They're just burning on some barracks. They're just holding the front side of his base. Louis doing some raiding in the backside with that horseman mass. Makes a little bit more sense now with how bad he lost that fight. Luigi
adding another Nest of Bees now. It's gonna have to control that one. I mean, there's a lot of choke points now out on the map inside the base of Louis, so it's definitely gonna have options to control that.
Oh,
has to be careful though. Villagers in the midfield have to run away from the horsemen.
It's that invisible horseman raid, not so invisible as obviously Zerton's reacting, but there's still good amount of idle time, a good amount of damage, and his military, it's not really connecting with damage on the other side. He's just kind of staying in front of Louis' base, not really taking anything important down. Yeah, village is great, but Louis is just going to rebuild that behind.
Oh, Nest of Beast shots coming in as well. Zerton has to be really careful about that. Lots of idle time being caused. Louis still killing some villagers here and there. And this is really, really tough for Zerton to deal with right now because Louis is paying attention and Zerton He's not able to really chase after these horsemen. They're just too fast for him.
Yeah, it's so crazy to think that Louis's been the one with a massive army on the front side of his base, and he's found himself up 30 villagers because he's been doing damage while holding this push easily. He just snuck up a keep in a blink of an eye, too.
Protected the steer, which just got finished up as well. Yeah,
if
Louis,
he can take the
looking in a good
center,
spot.
though, it's so much berries, it's so much food, and you can just secure that up with another Chinese keep, but there's a big military mass for Zerton, and he will have network of castles in that middle spot as well.
Zerton reminds me of myself right now. He's floating almost 3,000 wood right now. Could go for a huge farm transition, which he needs. He's low on food.
Relic delay, relic denial over here. Still none fully secured by either player, but it looks like Louis about to get his first one dropped on in.
Zerton also getting some anti-siege out right now. It's still really dangerous for him. His entire side's like, he doesn't have any walls out, and it looks like Louis is actually putting up a second layer of walls on the right side.
Yeah, it just makes this so easy. It takes away so much like APM that Louis has to invest into. He's just like, all right, let me focus dead on the center, rally everything to the center, and I get to raid your eco, and I don't have to worry about my own.
Exactly. It's going to be very secure for him. Outpost once again tries to go up, and look at that. Louis going for forward walls here, trying to force this little choke point. And as soon as Zerton is pushing forward, the horsemen from Louis become active again in the eco.
Oh, and the nest of bees into this choke point. It's not only the wall choke point, it's the berries as well that provide some weird pathing, some hard ability to run through this. And he's raiding the gold again with the horsemen. They've been a pain in the side the whole entire time. Nest of bees does get taken out, but not before damage has been done. And this one's the invisible horseman raid. We saw a horseman raid earlier, but this one is proving to be costly.
Zerton for a while, he's been behind like 30 villagers. This does hurt a lot. Louis, he's pretty close to being pop-capped here. Now also lose some villagers here at the front side. He's still in a very comfortable position right now.
It looks like he's got resources to drop another keep again, so might secure up another location for himself with the keep, and is starting to produce Springolds to win that siege war.
Also collecting some of the relics here. Food income starting to look better for Zerton.
Zerton, though, having to pull back a little bit. He's trying to find some spaces to do some damage to Louis, but those walls just... Is that one villager building a keep? I mean, that villager is working hard. That's for sure. He instead decides to go rebuild the wall rather than build up the keep. And Louis still is in full control of this game, I feel like, which isn't kind of too far off when you're playing against the English. They love to kind of wall themselves in and boom up behind this. But China, them being in control is very nice to have. And look at the granary boom behind this. Forget the berries in the center. We want the best food income you can get in this.
Yeah, granary replacement coming in. Look at that. More stone walls coming as well. Keep on the sacred sites. With that, Louis is getting himself a long-term kind of win condition here if he's able to get the second sacred site captain as well.
Yeah, you get your long-term win condition of obviously starting that countdown, but also full gold denial on Zerton, as he only really has that one gold vein he's on. All the other ones very easily able to be denied by Louis. Louis starting to push forward with his mass as the 3 nest of bees. You can't turn and fight that with the mass that Zerton has. Is able to get some connecting shots, some good little bit of damage down. Palace Guard still chasing, but didn't want to overstep by just a bit. And right as he takes this positioning back, villagers come as well. They have the resources for a keep, and so he's just moving up his line, continuing to do this keep crawl.
It's like Zerton is also looking for an age up. Is stacking up the food count, but look at that. He's running out of gold. He has to move all the way to the left side now for the gold. But that's still where the horsemen are. I think there are still some horsemen alive.
I believe so, and if not, I believe that Louis will know, and he is sure to keep circling that. Nest of bees, not able to turn and fire yet. They have some great opportunity to do those fires. Hello? There we go, and now we're starting to see some of that fire go down. The Springalds get taken out. The Men-at-Arms are stopped trying to press forward, but they can't inside of that choke point. And Zerton, this isn't a fight you want to take. You have to fall back away.
30 crossbows as well, and this is so difficult. You just cannot get on top of the nest of bees with normal units. You need your anti-siege, but Louis also investing into anti-siege here. Look at that.
Yep.
He's gonna be the first one to go up here. He's got 3,000 gold in the bank.
Louis is always going to have the better anti-siege too because of the astronomical clock tower. He's got the better siege being the Chinese. He has the civilization bonus. And guess what behind this? He's got the double sacred sites ticking. And not only will he go imp, I guarantee you we're going to see the Great Wall Gatehouse dropped to secure one of these locations as well, or maybe even the center.
I don't think he needs it in the center. He already has a keep there. I think it's just going to be one of the sacred sites there.
Yeah, already has the stone walls on the eastern side. Could easily be the choice for him. Keep in the center, keep in the west, and he's got a lot of villagers over on the east to be able to react to anything. So this is a lovely setup for Louis. We got the 9-minute timer ticking.
And there it is. Oh, no, never mind. It's going to be Spirit Way. Okay.
Wow, okay. Surprises me. I guess, you know, you have other ways to focus in that win condition, and one of those is just being better. And Imperial Age is one way to do that. Zerton not on his way up yet, and it's going to be hard for Zerton to really have the gold to have Imperial Age pay off well. Like, obviously, you're English. You get your whatever it's called, your farms. Yeah, there we go. Enclosures that give you some gold, but we saw it in the game earlier. It's not enough to give you all the Imp Age upgrades that you need.
And now, as soon as Age Up comes in, look at that. Louis queuing up all the upgrades, also queuing the bonus range upgrade for his hand cannoneers. It's gonna make it really, really tough for Zerton to push in. Now we see Berkshire coming in here. I would have rather seen it between the two gold mines that is still remaining for Zerton, just to protect those. Also give him like a forward siege workshop kind of situation there to push onto one of the sacred sites. But he might be able to deny this one sacred site here and decap it.
Didn't have a keep up over there. Didn't have a huge focus yet as far as you know, defensive structures other than that just initial outpost. And one nest of bees steps up a little, rolls a little too far forward, gets sniped down by the Springals on the other side.
Look at that, Louis investing into Carrick right now. About John, man.
Oh, that's gonna.
Is that in range? Is he gonna be able to like range the entire sacred site?
That's 100% in range.
Nah, it's not gonna range the entire sacred site.
Not quite. That's close though.
It is.
It definitely can make the units very hard to help support and actually run towards that sacred site if it just parks himself in the corner.
Look at the range of the landmark. It's firing all the way across there. Berkshire Palace proving that its range is absolutely insane. But Man-at-Arm being parked inside the range.
Oh no. Oh no, don't do this.
Oh.
Zerton, don't do this. Oh. There's a Belcher.
Only one villager loses its life. The AoE not being that great.
So far. There's more Chinese villagers here.
It's getting more. It's getting more. 3,
Another
4.
2 or 3. No reaction yet. Louis, though, he done spotted out. He's distracted elsewhere. Main fight's going down in the middle. Crossbow step forward. Nest of Bees getting chased down. Springald stepping up. So Zerton, he's making some pretty good siege trades, but he's not getting this line forward for himself. He's just defending this line from continuing to go against them.
Yeah, lead longbows. Also doing some work there. Sacred side attempted to be decapped, but the villagers are being pulled. Look at that. Villagers. There's only bodies remaining.
Yeah, reacted to quick enough. The Valchat helps in the reinforcements. It's so hard for units to actually get through there past the Valchat onto the sacred site. And all this time, Louis, he's been pressuring up the middle. So how can you go deny the sacred sites if you're Zerton when you're getting pressured through the middle this heavily?
This is really tough. Louis also having the better food economy here behind us, even though Zerton's the one that's playing as the English. And look at that, Zerton's going for double Carrick. Where's that coming from? That's on the other side there, on the other pond.
It does look like the other pond. There's already a Valchat out, but there's keeps on the other sacred site. I mean, it's hard to push up forward for that location. cannon pushing forward. I think that gets into Berkshire range, doesn't it? It's in Berkshire range. No!
Whoa.
All right.
All right. Stays alive.
And there's the reinforcing units as expected, just running.
And a single villager rewalling that stone wall, so nothing's gonna come through after there.
Another split focus. Timing is still ticking down, and Louis, he's moved from having to defend his base to raiding the other side and still pushing forward. The second cannon has moved forward. Springfield's starting to snipe those on out.
When you play against China late game, you need stone walls. The Palace Guards, quickest men-at-arms unit in the game, is able to run past the fight, and look at that. So many villagers are going down here.
I mean, there's too many things going on for Zerton. Things are all, like, pings are all over the place across the map. We can see it happening now, and farms are just getting depleted. They're getting decimated. More villagers pulled to try to drop a keep on this Eastern Sacred Site. Louis, though, I think he knows to defend this one up. He's got a keep over there now, and the Palace Guards are still raiding farms.
So many villagers going down. Look at that. Food economy for Zerton below 1,000 food per minute right now.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of damage. The militaries on both sides are very, very thin. Zerton has been able to take down the eastern or the western pond, but the eastern one is fully his. Louis, though, he just decides to stonewall himself out of the sacred site rather than keeping his win condition alive, even when it's only 4 minutes left on the timer. But the other win condition is very imminent, and that's just taking the eco, killing Zerton straight up.
He gets taken out. Bring us moving forward, but look at that. We see so many empty farms. Just because the villagers that used to work there are now dead. Palace Guards, just so quick, and hand cannoneers taking down the Springles there. Certainly he has no military left. He has no income. He can't replenish his army.
I mean, you're just, even if he is, you're getting more than double outmassed by the other side. And the keep, it didn't get denied. He didn't. What? What? Oh no.
Zerton's giving himself a timer here, say, in this game.
Wow.
Oh no. Enclosures only just now being researched.
Oh, this is so bad. Oh no. That's the most important upgrade if you're the English once you hit imp. You have to get enclosures, and he's picking it as he's running out of the gold. Like, this could have been so useful for him this whole time. Farm still being idled, hand cannoneers moving up, cannon being healed as it is taking down the Berkshire, and Zerton does at least realize he stepped off the sacred site and should deny the timer. It has been reset.
But I don't think that we're going to need another 10 minutes for Louis to finish this game off at this point in time. Look at the population difference. It's Vodka once again pointing out. Only 118 compared to 180. And Louis, if he wanted to, he could just stay pop capped the entire time.
And Zerton has zero access to gold. The last gold veins have run out essentially by his, the two by the Berkshire on either side have run out. And speaking of Berkshire, it is on fire. The Balchads are near. The western pond has been resecured by Louis. Another cannon is coming up, and Berkshire, it's gone. It's dead. That was his main defense, and Louis just gets to run rampant. We talked about Palace Guards being big. If he wants to, he can make the Fire Lancer transition. Doesn't even need to do so. LoueMT taking game number 4 and taking the series.